The shit I make is timeless and I'm constantly reminded. From here on out it's only pluses and it's never minus. Until they see me on their timeline, they never mind it. Everybody on it now, they wanna get behind it. Still great even after when I close my eyelids.
Welcome to the IKECONIC Podcast, where seeing is believing and dreaming is achieving. Today, episode 4. You know, it's a great day. It's a beautiful day outside. We have none other than Teke and Jimmy. We got Mr. Let Me Holler for $1. Let me pop my collar. The man, the mastermind. So I know Teke pretty well, but I don't know Jimmy well. Can you guys give me a little breakdown of like your upbringing? You know, what brought you here to this point that you're at in your life today?
Well, you know, I grew up in different countries essentially.
Okay.
You know,
where are you from?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone, that's dope.
So, you know, growing up, like I was in the streets, so like my mom just kept sending me back home.
Yeah.
So you know, that's pretty much how I like grew up in just different countries, just you know, learning different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, here I am.
What would you say is your favorite country that you stayed in?
Honestly, you know, because I travel so much, you know, I would always pick Canada.
Canada?
You know, like I've been
real?
to like London, Amsterdam, etc. But Canada, it was really where I hit puberty.
What part?
Like Toronto,
Okay.
London, Ontario.
Have you been to Montreal? I'm going to Montreal
No,
this summer.
I haven't.
For real?
But I stayed in London, Ontario.
Okay, that's dope. Sheesh, dang. Have you been back to Sierra Leone?
Yeah, I
You go
grew
pretty
up-
regularly?
Not like ever since I came back, you know, when I was like 15, 16.
Mhm.
I haven't really been back, but I am planning on going back this December.
Tell me about yourself, T.
So you
Give me
already
the
know
rundown.
me, man,
Yeah.
pretty much for the most part. I grew up in Cameroon, West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
My family moved here when I was, I think, 11.
Mhm.
Been here ever since. I haven't been back.
Yeah.
I think another part of your question was, you know, how did we get to where we are at right
Yeah.
now? I think it's a lot behind that question, bro, because like me and him personally, when we clicked up, I think it was more of a connection with me and him, just having the same mindset, having the same goal and what we want to get to.
Yeah.
And biggest thing for us is our mom and, you know, family, just
Mm-hmm.
getting them out of the day-to-day 9-to-5 life and retiring them back to Africa, bro.
Mhm.
That's like our number one goal right
sure.
now, is to get mom and pops out of here and back to Africa.
That's what's up, bro. Did y'all both go to the same college?
No.
Nah.
Okay, cool.
So he went to UMD.
For real?
Yeah, I went to Maryland, but I dropped out to start
Okay.
the business.
That's why I'm
That's
surprised
what's up,
both
bro.
of y'all don't know each other.
That's
from-
crazy. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm sure we probably know people that know each other. Yeah, for sure.
Now, you went to UMD. I started off at Bowie State,
Mhm.
transferred to Salisbury, and graduated, I think, 2018. I forgot, bro.
Yeah, man, it's a minute ago. Yeah, I'm just not getting around to my degree. So y'all are both a jack of all trades. Y'all doing a lot of things and, you know, dipping your toes in a lot of things. Master of none, but you know, oftentimes it's better to be well versed in a whole bunch of things than to master one thing. You know, if you can dip your toes into different places and know how you can position people to be of usefulness to you, then you know you can put food on their plates and put food on your plates. What are some of the things that you guys are doing right now, currently, current day, like career wise?
Mainly, like our main thing that you know that is the like you know like Alphabet owns Google.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
our like main thing, like our main source is real estate.
Mhm.
We have a real estate company. We have over 20 plus employees. And also we have assistant living opening up as well, and we
Mhm.
also invest in.
Yeah, we got to
like,
get into the assisted living because I'm trying to have on that plate too. You feel me?
Yeah, we also invest in businesses, and we're really big on cryptocurrency.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much what we do. And if we see an opportunity, like we go in.
Yeah.
But for us, it's mainly cash flow and like long-term plays.
Mm-hmm. So are y'all in on Doge, or y'all like, I'm staying out of that?
Uh,
Not with it, because I'm not on that Doge either.
I watched Doge from afar, man. I think if you got in Doge around 30 cents,
Yeah.
you know, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like he said yesterday in our group chat, like the whole world is determined to push Doge up to
Yeah,
$1.
exactly.
Right? Knowing that, that's still not going to make me jump in.
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm
know?
saying. Bro, crazy story. So I used to be big into crypto back on my freshman year, sophomore year of college. January 7, 2017, I just had came back from Nigeria, right? So I'm big on the crypto. I had some like Bitcoin, I had some Litecoin, I had some Ethereum and some other currencies, right? And then I started hearing people talk about Dogecoin. They were like, yeah, someone just created it, you know, just as a joke. Exactly. So I'm looking, I'm like, man, let me go ahead and cop some Dogecoin. This joint, it was at that point, it was worth 0.0006, right? And so I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't available on Coinbase, Binance, or nothing like that. So I found this sketchy like Chinese market, Chinese crypto market. I tried to put my card in it. It said decline. I was gonna get like $20, and then if you look at the evaluation now, and I didn't sell any of my crypto from 2017 when it did that initial dip. If I had held that, John, it would have been probably like $200K. But it's a lesson learned. It's a funny story to me, honestly. You live and you learn. But a lot of times, like folks think, just because they're missing out on an opportunity, another one will never come. Exactly. But it's like, bro, we young. Yeah. Opportunities are going to continue to come. Just like Doge came, just like Bitcoin came, it's going to be something else, So people should start thinking now, because like Doge was super cheap back in 2016. Now people should start thinking, what's the next play, Yeah. In 2023, what's going to be popping that's super cheap and, super new and in an incubator phase right now. So I just feel like people should change their perspective. But you know how everybody is. They see something on social media, they want to hop into it, like.
I think a lot of people suffer from like fear of missing out.
Yeah, FOMO, that shit can kill you.
They get in it without really understanding what they're getting into, and they end up
They don't understand
money,
the fundamentals of what Doge is, you know what I mean? Like
they don't even understand the fundamentals behind crypto
at all. They don't even know what the purpose of it is. But
it's a lot of instant, gratification. For us, like we look at things on a longevity basis.
Yeah.
And we also look at taxes because people can make a lot of money, but
short-term capital gains will spank you, bro, and people don't understand that.
So like for real, it's like, like what are you bringing home? So for me, we're going to constantly just keep parking money in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Celsius. So we only care about cryptos that have like everyday uses. Dogecoin is a pump and dump.
Yeah.
Or like crypto that's actually solving a major issue though. You know what I'm saying? Like XRP. XRP has its issues right now, but I think if XRP makes it past the lawsuit, XRP can easily hit $10.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of major banks are using XRP's technology, but they're in a lawsuit, so their prices affected by it.
So y'all said y'all do real estate. Do you only do real estate in Maryland, or do y'all dabble in real estate?
Multiple markets.
For real?
Markets.
But Maryland is your key market. So from, step one, say I'm fresh out of college, I'm making $75K. How do I get into real estate? What are the different ways that I can invest in real estate?
Well, it just depends on your interest. Like, like we like cash flow, so we like buy and hold, rentals. But if you're working, essentially, what you want to do is you want to take out that, first-time home buyers loan, which is the FHA loan.
Yeah.
And use that. Now? Yes, it's like 3.5%. And like use that to your advantage, right? Because they're literally giving you that because you have a job, right? So, but like if you're not working, of course, if you don't have capital, there's always different ways to start with other people's money, OPM, and or wholesaling.
Yeah.
Or just partnering up with somebody that's already in the game.
Yeah. And so what is wholesaling? Break that down to me.
So wholesaling is essentially you finding a property and you're negotiating that property and you're selling your rights to somebody else that buys and like flip property. So let's say that he owns a property. I'll call and say, hey, I'm interested in buying your property. He may be going through some situation and he wants cash now. So I say, hey, I can close within 30 days. And then I go find somebody else that can buy the property within 20 days. And I sell that property that I got from him for $100,000, $450. But I use your money to fund the transaction. I keep the $50K difference.
So where do I find those properties? Where do I find those people that have those properties? And then where do I find the people that will buy those properties?
There. You can walk outside and find people that got properties. You drive around vacant properties all day, right? And not even vacant properties. Somebody, maybe this building, everybody wants to, everybody would sell if the price is right.
Yeah.
Right. So for us, it doesn't matter if somebody wants $1 million. It's just a matter of how we're going to fund it.
Yeah.
So everybody is a seller if you present them with that right offer.
Yeah, for sure. So where do I find the folks that want to invest in and purchase those properties?
So people with money, they don't have time. Right. So he handles the disposition side. So I can let you speak on that.
I mean, like he said, just to kind of carry on what he was saying, like people with money don't really have the time to go find the properties.
Yeah.
That's why you have wholesalers, right?
Okay.
Wholesalers go do that work, they put in the legwork, and they bring the deal on a silver platter and say, just bring your money and we'll close on it. As far as where you find these people, man, these people are everywhere, you know. There are people, like you said, that work W-2 jobs, but they want to get into real estate.
Yeah.
They can't go find a property. You can sell a house to them, right? They can use a FHA 2 or 3K loan and fix it up. Now they have an asset, right? Yeah. It's investors with money that have money all day, own businesses, but they don't have the time to go find those properties, but they're interested in buying real estate for the long-term gains that they can get from the cash flow. So if you find a property that's in good condition and doesn't need a lot of rehab, you can sell it to that guy.
Yeah.
Right? They'll put a tenant in there in cash flow. And also an easy way is just Facebook. You know, it's a lot of Facebook groups that are dedicated to real estate itself. And if you have a property you're looking to sell, you can easily just post it in Facebook.
Yeah, so just long story short, everybody's a buyer too.
Yeah,
right? Because if I can, I can go to a doctor and say, hey, you're making 10% on your stocks, but you can make 30% by just investing in this asset. And he's willing to put up that money.
Definitely do that, yeah.
Right, so it's just a matter of the opportunity for the buyer and, the money for the seller, and that's what wholesalers do, is just put two and two together, man, and provide value and keep it moving.
Another thing too, you had asked about somebody with a 9-to-5 job, wanting to get into real estate. Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
Leverage your job to buy you more real estate, because that's what I quit my job.
Yeah.
Right? And I wouldn't advise everybody to do that unless you have a solid
hustle
plan and you have the hustle to back it up, right? So leverage your job, because what people don't know is if you have a W-2 job, you can actually qualify for more loans over a business owner. So leverage that, buy more assets.
It's hard to get loans as a business owner,
Exactly.
bro.
So leverage your job, buy more assets, and same thing with FHA loans. All you have to do is be in the house for 2 years, and you can rent it out and get another FHA.
Are there certain type of houses that are accessible to you through the FHA, or is there whatever house you want to purchase you can get?
It all anything under 4 units.
Yeah, anything under 4 units, and also depends on your purchasing power, right? Okay. A lot of people have the down payment, but they have bad credit, so they can't qualify for a lot of money. Right? So a lot of things tie into that, but typically it's 4 units and under. That's considered single family.
So can you only do the FHA once, or is there a criteria for like amount of time where it's like you purchase your crib, you stay in it for 2 years, and then can you do a FHA again? Because it's a first-time homeowner, so is it only the first crib?
I think so. Essentially, like, we like to stay in our lane. We're not like loan officers and or agents. We're just investors. Yeah. So the answer to that question is, I've only seen people use it once, then they use their conventional loan. Yeah. But outside of that, I don't want to say something that would lead people the wrong way.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, that's dope. So if I'm fresh out of college, I have a job, a W-2 job, I can use the FHA. Go find a crib on the market, put that 3% down, put the down payment if my credit is decent enough, and then if it's a multi-unit, then I can have other people in those using their money to pay the mortgage and let the value of that crib continue to appreciate.
Or like if you're in college, man, some of us take out loans and we take out loans that we don't necessarily need. So you can use that loan money to go flip a property or partner up with somebody that's in the game and bring the money. People like to work with people that bring value. Yeah. So some people don't have enough capital, but they have knowledge and time. So you can bring some more capital from your loans in college and flip it and then pay it off. It's pretty risky, but sometimes you got to lose money to make money.
You got to buy in on yourself, bet on yourself. Rather.
Sure.
That's dope, bro. So in terms of wholesaling, so with the wholesaling, you find the properties, you try to get the rights to those properties for cheaper, and then you end up selling it to somebody for a higher price than you agreed to the rights for it. So that difference, how does it work with like taxes and like how much money can you put in your pocket? Is there like commissions, fees? Like how does that work exactly?
So essentially, if we get the property for $100,000 and we sell it for $150,000, we get that $50,000.
Okay.
However, everything is contingent on how your LLC or your corporation is set up. So if it's like an LLC, of course it's taxed different. If it's like an S corp, whatever type of thing that your accountant set it up as, that's how you're going to get taxed. Now, as far as commissions, we're not agents, so we make money. So we keep all of that money.
Your money, yeah.
Like we don't split it with anybody.
Yeah.
From time to time, we work with agents, though, and we pay them a commission, right? So
for bringing buyers.
Okay.
In that sense, but taxes, you still got to pay your taxes.
Yeah, so that's one thing you can't run away from.
Can't run away from the man.
And taxes is good to pay because when you're paying taxes, of course, let's say that like you made $1 million this year, you probably paid $30,000, like whatever, in taxes. That's showing the bank that, hey, like you make a certain type of money, and then you get to take out $1 million credit line from the like bank, and there's nothing like using somebody else's money to fund your goals. You know what I mean? So taxes is pretty cool, but man, it's killing.
It's a killer. So how many employees do y'all have again?
Right now we're at 19.
19.
Right now we're actually at 19.
So how did you scale from 1 employee to 19? And what is it like managing other people?
So I know we were in the 20s. Yeah. And we realized that there were certain people that were just taking up a lot of seats and weren't really performing. So we scaled back, but now we're strategically trying to go back into, still running lean, especially due to COVID, but putting people in the right seats to win. So like in regards to like managing people, so I'm I'm not good at managing, not the leading. I'm a high like performer.
Yeah.
So we typically just hire people that have those management skills. So it's really about who, not how. I don't work on the things that I don't know how to do. I work on the things that I do know how to do, and we just go from there. And he handles the operations, and and anything that deals with operations, I only deal with thinking and like solving problems.
Yeah.
And that's really it for me.
That's dope. So how did y'all scale from 1 to 19? And what is the hiring process like? What type of questions do you ask your employees? And then, what type of questions do you ask your employees when you hire them? Or what's the perfect employee for you? What's the characteristics of them?
I don't think there'll ever be a perfect employee, but I think the process of you hiring that person plays a big part in it. I think for us, we're big on core values.
Okay.
So before we even hire you, we want to make sure it's the right fit, right? It's the right fit. You value the same things we do. Because unless you value the same things we do, it's not going to work, right? Because you're going to get in the company, you're going to do things your own way, and you're going to end up getting fired. So that's very important. How we scale from 1 to 19 people, it just came off with, we were doing too much, just us two. Then we got to the point where we needed to delegate some of those things that we didn't like doing. That's how it all started, right? We got tired of doing certain things. We started delegating. Then from then on, we started noticing, we're bringing on all these people. We need to formalize this and make sure when we bring people on, we have a plan for them. Right? That's where the hiring process came into place, onboarding people the right way, so they understand what they're getting into. But as far as hiring people, man, our biggest thing is core values and that they get the job, right? They understand the job as well and they want to do it. If those things check out, we give them a shot, and from there we just manage you based on your numbers. We try to keep emotion out of managing people.
We don't really care about like resumes. So like we will pick somebody up from the streets as long as you can get the like job done.
One of our best guys right now came from Craigslist, a Craigslist ad. Right? Craigslist. Nobody would have thought. We actually posted the ad for a different position, but started talking to him on the phone and realized this dude might have some sales in him, right? And pitched the opportunity to him. He came on, and he's been one of our best performers.
That's amazing.
And we have staff like overseas, Egypt and South America. And we also have staff in the States.
That's amazing. So what exactly does the staff do for you guys day to day? What are their jobs for you? So
different things, because like there are different parts of the company. So each department in the company, we have staff. Majority of our staff is virtual, right, overseas, right? We keep our main guys in the States because we like them to be able to come into the office. As far as what they're doing for us, mainly like administrative stuff, back-end stuff, data management, organizing, negotiating as well. Like majority of the guys that work on my team to sell the properties, none of them are in America, right? But I've taught them how to sell properties in America to the point where they're selling more properties than some agents.
That's crazy.
Right. I realize people overseas tend to work harder. That's no shade, right? They tend to work harder and they're more hungry. Honestly, because we've hired people in the States more often than not, and we've not gotten I would say a good return on our investment.
And we also hire people that got deported because they speak English and Spanish. And two, it's like sometimes, people will come to America for new opportunities, and us being immigrants, it's like we want to give the opportunities to people over there that can't afford to come here to just work. And most of them speak amazing English, and they work 10 times harder than Americans.
That's big facts. So break down the home health, the nursing home play to me, bro. What's that about?
Don't want to speak too soon into it, man, but it's more so providing care for the elderly. So we're already in real estate, right? That's another avenue where we can provide housing as well as make a good amount of money and do good for people as well. So as far as the play itself, man, you got to first take the class, bro. The class itself, that's a whole different ball game. You got to take the class to get the license, and I think that's about 80 hours. Once you finish that course, then you got to take the test. Pass that test.
Do y'all each individually have to take the test?
Each person has to take the test because each person needs to have the license if you're going to run the facility itself, right? So that's the first step is you got to get your license and you got to pass that test. And once you pass that test, from then on, you got to find a house, right? We're fortunate with the fact that the house that we're turning into a facility is a house that we already own outright, right? And we're not using our money for that. We got an investor to partner up with us, right? So now, once you got the house, it's a matter of working with the city, setting up your inspections, furnishing the house, fixing up the house so it meets code. Because if it doesn't meet code, I mean, you're not going to pass your inspection, right? Certain things need to be in that property for elderly people to be able to stay in there. And once all that is set up and you get the thumbs up from, Office of Healthcare Quality, you're pretty much good to go, and you can start taking on residents at that point. Start to finish, it takes longer to open one up than we grossly underestimated how long it'll take. Honestly, we were hoping to be done with this project like 3 months ago, right? But things don't always move according to plan, so it's taking us much longer, but we're almost at the finish line to where once we get the first one going and we understand that process, now we scale and just build more.
Yeah, and essentially for us, like, there's not enough tech in health. So we want to create like a home where, like, you know, even though people are aging, they don't feel like they're getting old. Like they feel like they're kids again. So we're trying to bring tech to our facility and let people know, like, hey, you can trust the younger generation because we will be the youngest like facility owners. So we want to make sure that we're using tech and we're using everything that people, you know, don't like our generation for to the best of our advantage when dealing with like the elderly care.
Yeah. That's dope. So in terms of like money, how much money would you say it costs to start your first home, like your first home, nursing home, and then in terms of cash flow, because you guys are big on cash flow, how much does it cash flow you?
So you want me to go or you go?
I'll go. I mean, you can chime in as well. I think it depends on what you really want to do, though, because a lot of people, they want to get into it and they don't necessarily have the money to go buy the house and turn it into a facility. But then again, there are landlords who would much rather, because you can pay a landlord more money for the house they already have if you can turn it into a facility, right, monthly, and you still make a good amount of money on the back end. So I wouldn't always advise somebody to go buy a house and turn it into a facility. I would more so say find a tired landlord who has a property that they're not really making a lot of money on. Let them know you can pay them more than what they're already getting for their rent, and you take that same house and you turn it into a facility and you go that route. That's much easier.
So the house will still be owned by the landlord?
Yeah, you just have a lease with the landlord.
So like the facility is the company. So like it's a business in real estate, right? So you're just bringing a business to the real estate. However, for us, we're $500,000 in our own property right now, right? But that's because we're in a higher market, so we have to spend more money. Now, if a beginner was to do it, and they didn't have the capital or whatever, they need to just partner up with somebody that already has a rental property. You know, if they're getting like $2,000, offer them like $3,500, right? And then you go raise another money, you go raise some more money to, you know,
fix up the facility.
Yeah, just fix up the facility and make it, you know, suitable for elderly people. And just go from there. And, you know, most of the time you can lock in, you know, a rent price for like 5 years, you know, but you're making, you know, I mean, I know for us, you know, we don't really know our prices that we're going to end up charging yet. But typically, like, you know, like in the Bowie area, you know, people are making like 30, 40 grand a month.
Per
gross. But with expenses, you know, your expenses will probably be like 15, 20. So like you cash flow around that 10K a month-ish, you know, after nurses and et cetera.
I mean, you also got to understand, like, the older people is different tiers, right? You have level 1,
level 2, level
those
3.
people require the least amount of care. You have level 2, they require moderate amount of care. Then you have level 3, those people need a lot of care.
So the more care, the more money.
Your pricing is based on the level of the residents that you're going to take care of. I know for our facility, we're doing level 1 through level 3, right? We want everybody. So if it's a level 3 client, you could charge more because they're paying you per bed. You know, each client is paying you per bed. So if you have 6 clients paying you $3,000 per bed, that's 18.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just, you know, rough numbers, but it's possible.
Yeah.
So I say anybody trying to get into assisted living, just find a landlord and partner up with them. That's the easiest route.
That's dope. In terms of marketing, how do you plan on grabbing those clients? How do you plan on getting clients?
So essentially, you know, I handled the marketing piece. So with real estate marketing is just a different ball game, but with the facility, I'm probably going to partner up with agents that are already, you know, dealing with people. So like I said, you know, like I stated, for me now it's more about who, not how. I'm not going to figure out how to do it. I'm just going to pay the premium price to get them because it's going to take me longer to find people if I want to do it by myself. However, as I'm hiring them, I'm going to be learning what they're doing, and then we're going to duplicate it in house. Yeah,
and you also you have to have registered nurses in the houses too, right? So that's
they don't have to be in the house, but they have to be affiliated with the facility.
Okay.
As far as like in the house, I think you need somebody in the house at all times.
Yeah.
Right?
Managers,
somebody in the house that's licensed, whether it's a registered nurse, a CNA, a med tech, you need somebody in the house. Overnight, you need at least 2 people in the house, right? Overnight, because it gets overwhelming. If something happens, it's an emergency, one person can't handle that.
Yeah.
So Typically, it's about 3 staff.
Yeah.
Normally, and they're all rotating.
Mm-hmm.
And each person is working like an 8-hour shift.
So to run the business, you have to have a license, and then also to be a manager in the house, you have to have a license as well.
Yes.
Okay.
The assistant manager doesn't have to have a license.
Okay, cool. That's dope. So in terms of, it's something else y'all should consider, non-emergency medical vehicles. Because like a lot of times when there's an emergency, a health emergency, people have to take ambulances. But a lot of times when people go for like their dialysis, they go for, their diabetes appointments, they have to have transportation to and from their place. You know what I mean? So the government, Medicare and Medicaid will pay you like $7 a mile, and they'll pay you like $150 per person. So you just hire a driver. The driver doesn't have to have any credentials other than the commercial driver's license, and then you get a vehicle, and then make sure that the vehicle is up to code, and you're making bread. They pay you for the miles. They pay you per client, and then you could just have somebody running around every day just picking up different clients. You just drop them all off at the same time, come pick them all up at the same time. So I feel like that'd be definitely something good. Now that y'all are getting into the home health and the
you said it's a
non-emergency medical vehicle or something like that. Yeah. One of my best friend's mom, she has a nursing, not a nursing home, but like a home health type of thing. So she had her first crib. She took some equity from her first crib, got her second crib in Silver Spring, and then she fixed it up, and then met code, passed the inspection. She's a nurse herself, so she went from working in the hospital to now she's working for herself.
A lot of nurses transition into that,
and that's something that I feel like my mom is a nurse too, and I'm like, she don't like working them 12-hour shifts, so I'm like, if I can get the knowledge to, get my license and stuff like that, then I could just have her running it. And she knows a whole bunch of, LPNs that aren't RNs yet that would love to do home health. They need that. They're coming from overseas and stuff like that. They need their first couple jobs. So that's definitely
that's dope.
Yeah, that's a big plug. So what plans do y'all have for like the future in terms of business? What's the big picture for y'all? What are y'all trying to get going?
Africa,
yeah, me too, bro. Yeah.
Trying to really invest in them Africa heavy.
In what ways?
So I know, one is with solar, like electricity, 24-hour lights, and just bringing more tech and just more opportunities. Like, we kind of want to change the narrative that you don't have to come to the States to,
prosper.
To prosper. Like, there's a lot of gold in Africa by itself. It's just that people don't know how to utilize it, and people worship, first world countries.
The American lifestyle,
but when us over here, like, we trying to go back home.
Honestly, America's just a playground, bro. Make a whole bunch of money here, take it back to Africa, man, and just build it up.
Yeah.
I think for me, looking in Africa is more, I'm still sticking with real estate. People always need housing. So luxury housing in Africa, that's going to work.
So y'all go on vacations a lot. Where's the last place y'all just came from? Whose birthday was it? It was your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Where y'all just come from?
I just came from Negro, Jamaica. I think he traveled. I forgot where he went.
Went to Kingston.
He went to Kingston.
Why don't y'all go to the same spot?
Sometimes we can't decide where we want to go.
Honestly, I got to get a break from him sometimes. I can't be on vacation with him. But I think next up.
What's the next destination?
We're still trying to decide. It's going to be an island though.
Yeah, it's going to be
still
an island.
Trying to decide where exactly it's going to be.
Yeah, we try to travel every other month, and probably going to start converting it to like every month. But for us, it's just because we don't really party or club, so that's our own
getaway,
form of entertainment. So we don't usually we can't decide until like 2-3 weeks out.
Yeah,
and who knows? Probably gonna be an island, probably gonna be Hawaii or something. Whatever is open.
Yeah, that's dope. How did y'all get into golfing? I see y'all be golfing. Where did that start from?
It's mainly just watching wealthy people and just looking at their habits. And for us, everything is more of a who you know. Yeah. So, we see a lot of retired folks there that we can raise money from. And also just investors, and just talk business there, and just, just look at the type of, etiquette that people portray on golfing. Yeah. So we just started, swinging and just talking to people, asking them what they do.
And beyond all that, bro, the sport itself is hard.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
It takes finesse, bro. Yeah.
I mean, once you play golf one time, I guarantee you're not going to stop playing golf.
Yeah.
Because you would want to go back till you get better. Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with it. And also a networking opportunity. We've met a lot of people at the golf course that are surprised that we're there on a Monday. So that's the main thing is the networking that comes with it. But What about you, man? What's your plans? Like, what's up? What's going on with Vay? What's your big picture?
Man, I got a lot cooking. Honestly, I would say I definitely want to tap into the student-athlete market. You know, I'm watching the name, image, and likeness legislation heavy because the student-athletes will be the next biggest market to in terms of any product, any service that you have to offer. So I feel like me being a college student, a former college student, a former college student-athlete as well, I want to build Vay foundationally to the point where, you know, I can offer these athletes different deals and have a brand that is really about them and for them, that is focused on them. Because a lot of these big companies that are going to come offering them money, they're not really going to be
in their best interest.
Yeah, they're not going to be in their best interest. Even NFL guys, like a lot of brands don't really have their best interest, but I want Vay to be like a for athletes, made by athletes, you know, type of deal. So I'm trying to cultivate that and grow that and also put that money back into the community. So as money is coming into my pocket, you know, sponsor community events, sponsor different. My goal is to, you know, sponsor my high school and get them different sports teams their uniforms and have camps and leverage my resources, you know, just like you guys leverage your connections and leverage investors. So that's the big plan for Vay. But, you know, just taking it a day at a time, making clothes that I like to wear, making clothes that other people like to wear that are functionable and fashionable. So, yeah, that's my baby. And then continuing to do this podcast, travel, see different things, meet different people, network with different people. Like, yeah, it's just a great opportunity for me. Like, I would have never, I mean, I'm sure me and Jimmy would have eventually talked, but, you know, now I get to know, like, where he's from, what he likes to do, what makes him tick, and things from just talking on the podcast, just rapping. Yeah. So that's definitely something dope. Yeah. And then y'all both got them nice Teslas. What I got to do to get a Tesla, man? What do I have to do to get a Tesla? Like,
you got to convert your gas to electric.
Gas to electric.
You can get one right now, bro.
Yeah, you can also get one right now. We're affiliated with like a solar company and also a Tesla company as well. So we're able to like negotiate things, you know, for other people if they want to get the opportunity. For us, we just want to contribute to the environment mainly, you know, because gas definitely produces a lot of CO2. Yeah. However, you know, when it comes to like Teslas, of course there are tax benefits to it.
For sure.
So, you know, that's mainly what it is. And, you know, of course we love it.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah,
we love it. We love
you got to write off everything. Yeah, you got to write off all them get all them tax write-offs when you can, because they're going to take the money one way or another. So, yeah. So in the next 5 years individually, where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing, and where do you see yourself?
We still gonna be together. Like, it just is what it is.
I think we're stuck up and stuck. Like, but personally,
personal goals.
Personal goals in the next 5 years for me. My biggest goal is my mom's no longer working. If I can hit that goal in the next 5 years, I'm happy. Right. Beyond that, business. I know business is gonna take care of itself. I have no worry about business, you know, so that's not really a big goal of mine. My biggest goal is making sure my mom is no longer working in 5 years.
And, you know, to be honest, like, money is not really an issue. Like, we don't think in money, we think about how we can influence other people. So, you know, in like 5 years, I just want to be able to, like, influence, you know, for me, it's mainly troubled youth. You know, because, you know, I could have been dead at like 15, 16. So I want to give hope to a lot of people. But, you know, mainly, of course, it's always going to be family first. You know, as entrepreneurs and those who grew up without it, you make money for other people. You really don't make money for yourself. Because, you know, people depend on you to change their like life. So half the money that we get, we typically give it away. And this year we're working on, you know, giving a lot back to the community as far as Thanksgiving and just having all these, you know, like good events for the less fortunate.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, we'll definitely have to tap in on the community outreach part, because that's a big thing that I like to do and try to find ways to give back any way that I can. But it's a pleasure having both of y'all on the podcast, man.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you for coming and rapping with us. You know, we'll definitely be in touch with different business ventures in the future. Thank you for tuning into the IKECONIC Podcast, episode 4. We'll catch y'all later. Have a great day.
The shit I make is timeless and I'm constantly reminded. From here on out, it's only pluses and it's never minus. Until they see me on their timeline.